Hey everybody, welcome back. Check, check, check. Another Gravity Ace devlog stream thing. Gonna keep this one short and sweet. I have a thingy at 7. And I don't know, I'm looking at this to-do list. I kind of don't want to do any of it. Hey Robert, hey Aniki, how you guys doing? Robert Capper, let's make you a VIP. It's in here somewhere. Robert Capper, VIP. Yeah, I mean, don't get too excited. I don't know what it does. I don't know what making you a VIP means. I think you get a diamond next to your name. Yeah, it's exciting. You have every right to be excited. Yeah, there it is. Look at that diamond. Oh, yeah. Why don't you hit me up right now? What kind of software recommendations are you looking for? Anything I can do to procrastinate will be a big help to me. This might just be the margarita talking. Redesign campaign and level select. So I have an idea here to redesign this whole menu. Let me look at this. Look how unprepared I am. I didn't even start my editor. Oh, let me show you guys something. This is something I was working on. This came up. I was working on this back in 2017, 2016. It's back in December of one of those years. 2016, I think. And one of the things I did was I was experimenting with, what do you call it, 3D. Oh, zoomed out too far. And look what I made. I made the Adventure Time tree fort. Oh, it's all blurry because I've got, there's like a depth of field blur thing happening. Yeah, so this is all in Godot. I made the treehouse in Blender. Let me run the scene real quick. Fly around it. Little camera. Oh, it's slow. Probably I'm streaming. My computer's doing too much right now. Anyway, I did this to teach myself Blender and also to like see what it was like to work in 3D in Godot. And I came to the conclusion I don't like it. 3D, I mean, you know. The whole workflow is very cumbersome compared to 2D. Way down there. But the engine's very capable. I mean, it does all this cool stuff. I did another one in here somewhere. This one. I was kind of just trying to figure out what Godot could do, you know. What the heck? There it is. Oh, computer's struggling right now. I might need to upgrade this CPU at some point. This was kind of a fun one to do. I don't know. I'd almost forgotten I'd done these. But it's just nice to know, you know, Godot can do this if I ever felt like I needed to. And there is something compelling about 3D, you know. Something, I mean, just being able to rotate around something is really cool. Moving the camera around and getting different angles. It's just, you can't do that in 2D, not without a lot of work. In 3D, you get it for free, but you have to do all this work, of course, to make the models and the scenes and everything. It's a pain in the neck. Yeah. Let's do this one. No, God. Do I want to do this one? Well, let's talk about this. So, I'd wanted to. Darn it! I did it again. I want to do some UI. I need to do a lot of UI rework, and one of the things I want to do is fix this start menu. Let's turn down that sound. One of the things I want to do is update this. So when you start right now, you get this weird menu where you can choose between the campaign or the user campaigns. If you go into user campaigns, then you can choose a user campaign and then a level. Kind of awkward. Here you go into the main campaign and choose a level. Problem with this is you can only see 3 at a time. It's kind of cumbersome to scroll through. It's not very interesting to look at either, you know. I'm thinking it'd be cooler if it was like a galactic map. You know, you could see the galaxy or you could see the sector that you're in. And then you could see all the levels at once. And maybe the locked ones would be question marks or something, and you could unlock them like a map, you know. Yeah, exactly, Max. Maps. Do you like that diamond next to your name? So some kind of map here would be better. And then this is just awkward on this screen, right? So I'm thinking I would have start the main campaign, but then another menu item here called user campaigns. And they would both do the same thing. They would go to a map. And the user campaigns would go to like, well, I guess the UIs would be different, but the main campaign would go to a map, and the user campaigns would go to some kind of better dialogue picker than this. Maybe a list of campaigns, and then a list of levels within the campaign, and then stats for the levels. And then this would just be, I don't know, almost like maybe some kind of holographic display, like you're on board the ship and you can see the whole galaxy before you. Anyway, obviously I'm not going to do that in an hour. It's kind of a daunting thing. I mean, look how simple that is. Redesign the campaign and level select. 5 little words. Should be easy, right? Oh, that's a text from my son. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I need a button. Make game. I should switch over to construct. I hear construct has a make game button. And then I'm thinking of changing the whole how to play as well. Right now, how to play is this, right? It's these 3 screens. Very concise. Fly, beam, escape. You know, shoot these things, get these things. Some little mini tutorials. But I think I would like to do something more like, I don't know, do you guys know Blendo, right? Blendo games? I don't know if you guys know their game Atom Zombie Smasher, but I've been playing it again recently, and I still love that game. And Blendo does a cool thing to introduce the game. It does this little comic thing, right? And I love this. It's just one picture. Uses the camera to zoom in and out and move across it, put some text on it, you know? Pretty simple technically to pull off. But this could teach the how to play in maybe a more interesting way. I kind of just like that idea. But I'm not going to do that in an hour either. Everything takes so long. Oh, I'm wearing the hat again, as promised. There were complaints last time. So also by redesigning the campaign and level select, it's going to fix some UI issues where... Thanks, Andrew. Sometimes, the controller would lose focus, or you can click on things that aren't visible. Just separating things out more will make those problems just kind of go away as a side effect. Yeah, I'm not going to do that right now. This one, fixed shooting skips dialogue, is a problem where I basically have too many things, too many actions mapped to the same input. If you're using mouse and keyboard, left click on the mouse shoots the gun, but it also advances the dialogue. When you're playing with gamepad, it's not an issue because there's a separate button for the control to advance the dialogue versus shooting. There's two separate controls. And I primarily tested on gamepad. Other people have been testing on mouse and keyboard, so this issue came up. And what I think I want to do is just be very explicit and map a specific input just for the dialogue or the interaction stuff, and a whole separate control for shooting and doing other things, so that there's no way to accidentally do it, right? It has to be very intentional. And I'm thinking just X for that. Which shouldn't be too bad, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I have 3 different control schemes. There's mouse and keyboard. Actually, maybe there's 4 different control schemes because there's mouse and keyboard and there's gamepad, right? But then there's modern mouse and keyboard and classic mouse and keyboard. And there's modern gamepad and classic gamepad. Gamepad's easy, I think, because the X button isn't used for anything. Mouse and keyboard, X is used for the tractor beam, so I'd need to move the tractor beam to a new key. And then, of course, I need to rewrite all the code, or not rewrite it, but I need to change the code for advancing the dialogue to use the new input. I don't think that'll be that bad. Let's try it. Let's go into the input map first. And we'll add a new input. Let's call it interact. And we will map that to the X. Whoops. Already messed up. Map it to the X button and the device 0 X button and the device 1 X button. So either player, if you have 2 controllers. Both gamepads are active all the time. So it is possible for you to play with a friend, for example, and one of you could aim and another one of you could fly if you wanted to. And I think I've got a shoot mapping in here somewhere. There's no way to search this input map, is there? Interact. So I want to remove this. Toggle tractor shouldn't be X anymore. I should make that Z. Yeah, let's just go for Z for right now. There's shoot, right? So that's shoot is space, left button, This is the trigger or the shoulder button. And at some point, I'll probably need to add remapping of controls, right? But let's not do that right now. So I've got a new interact action. This one for tractor beam, I'm already using this action, so just mapping it to Z, that'll automatically just start working. Because I never say, you know, if Z is pressed. I always say if toggle tractor is pressed, and I can map it to whatever I like. So that will automatically pick up and start using Z. Interact, that will be in here, actually. And there should be an input check in here. There it is. Yeah, so I don't want to do that. This just says, oh wow, this just says if there's a mouse press anywhere in the panel. What's that called from? GUI input on the dialog box, yeah. Hey, Plaid. Yeah, and the dialog box takes up the whole screen, right? So it's saying if there's a click anywhere on the screen with the mouse button, then accept the event and go to the next dialog. So I want to change this to if... Here we go with the explosions, folks. If input is action just pressed, interact, then it'll accept the event or go to the next dialog. So you can press Z if you're playing mouse and keyboard, or you can press X and it'll advance the dialog. Is that really it? Is that really all it's going to take? Let's look at my controller here. Right? None of these are used on the gamepad. Ah, okay, so thrust is also using X. And beam in the classic controls, and yeah, only in the classic controls is X used on beam, and only on the classic controls is X used on this, on the gamepad. Probably want to change that to A. Okay. So let's look at our input map again. And somewhere in here, this could be a thrust. So I want to change this to A. And I want to change this to A. And this continue button, I'm going to change to interact. Ooh, I'm going to have to look everywhere for where this UI accept is done. Because UI accept, I think I have mapped to A. Yeah. Let's just change that to interact. And interact. And let's look for UI accept in the code. this is the campaign chooser. You can push A. Yes, that's fine. Level button. This is the level chooser. A works fine. Attract mode. Old arcade games used to have a demo mode called attract mode, and I added that to this game. How do I get into it? No. I think I created an attract mode for the ambitious indies, or maybe the tilted event that I did. So the game was just running in like a demo mode to entice people, to attract people to come play it. And you'd press A to get out of it, which is fine. That's just a comment. It's fine. This scene isn't used anymore, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. All right. I think that's fine. That is a weird error. Demo playback. Things getting out of sync with the demo playback. I'm not sure what you mean. Welcome back, Tiny Big Games. Out of sync with the demo playback as you make changes to the game. Oh, yeah, I guess. But like I said, I only used that attract mode for a specific event that I was going to because I was in a booth, you know? And it does, I think that attract mode does just play a video. Let me see. And it's probably way out of date right now. Yeah, here it is. It's just playing a video, right, of gameplay. And it was accurate at the time. It's less accurate now. So yeah, if I did want to use this attract mode again, I would need to update the video for sure. It is totally out of sync. See, even the menu system, the menu screen's all wrong. But I'm not using that anymore right now. All right, let's try it out and see how it works. Got the old gamepad. Yeah, no, yeah, my attract mode is not that smart. I just recorded a video of me playing it, and then I play back the video. That's the attract mode. I've thought about doing something like that where I record keyboard input and replay it to get the ship to replay the level, but it seems like it would be really hard. Especially, I'm not even sure if the if the physics simulation is deterministic. I don't know if you get the same results on each playthrough. So I think I'd want to, I mean, I know for sure there is some randomness in the game, you know, like where asteroids and stuff appear, and those can affect your trajectory. So I would need to, on a playback, I would need to use the inputs to show how things are turning and, you know, firing thrusters and stuff. But then I think I'd also need to record the actual position and rotation of the ship and then just force it to be that, you know, sample it and then force it to be that and maybe tween between them on some kind of timeline. It sounds too complicated. Yeah, the random seed. I think I have a to-do somewhere in there to to uh, to record the seed and use that everywhere, but yeah, it has never happened. So I'm gonna push A. A does nothing now. Left click does nothing. X on the keyboard or on the gamepad does the trick. Oh, I'm in classic mode. Hold on, I gotta switch the controls back. Classic mode is really hard. Alright. Alright, now I'm gonna switch over to... So that doesn't skip it. But I can press Z. No, X. There it goes. X switches it. And Z should be the new... whoa. Z should be the new tractor beam control. Because in classic mode, you don't play with the mouse. So let me get to something I can beam up. Make sure that works. No! Z. There it goes. So that actually wasn't so bad. All the mouse controls still work like they did. Or like they should. Let's do this. See some fun dialogue here. Yeah. And I'll do it again with the gamepad. X. Yeah. Alright. I think that's a win. This interact thing. Thanks, man. I think I need to go through the whole game because I'm not sure I like the idea of switching back and forth between A and X. But I mean, I did make a rookie move and blow up the reactor core. What a noob. I guess it's okay. Because like A, you use A to select buttons. You use A to go through the menus. You use A to do lots of things. But always it's going to be X for the in-game interaction stuff. And it's X on the keyboard and it's X on the gamepad. So I think that's pretty consistent, and that saves me a little effort too, because then I can, if I wanted to, I can just put X on the screen and it works for either control. But it does bring up that I need to change the how to play graphic, which is, oh shoot, I've lost it. Is it in here? No. Is it? It must be in here. This is just my holding area for everything where I didn't know where to put it. Nope. There it is. Yeah. Okay. So this is my a gamepad. So I want to add another label on here. I'll need to add a button. Let's see, labels, base, labels. So in here, I want to add a It's an awkward spot. Something like that. This is gravity bold. So it'll be like that. Interact. It's weird. I feel like everything just moved. Probably did. I screwed something up. It's fine. It's fine. And then there's no X over here. That's fine. And then for classic controls, I'm going to change this. Yeah, I'm going to change this. So like that. I want to delete this. There's like some, oops. There's like something covering that. There we go. That way I can just turn this on and off. If I turn this off, you'll see what I've done. I just kind of mask out the background and cover up the things I don't want to see. That way I can just turn the layer on and off and export it. So I can export this, or I can export this. There's thrust to deal with. I think we have to move thrust to... I moved it to A, didn't I? That's fine. So in classic controls, I want to cover up that. Ooh, this gets fiddly. I want to do that, 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 that. And I want to do... Oops. I want to do this. Something like that. And I want these to line up here. So I want to move this up. Like that. And now these cross over and I hate it. I need to work on this. I need to work on this. Maybe this should just go straight across and go through the B. Ugh, I don't like that either. And I don't like using B because I want that to be like back or undo or whatever, right? I think it's well understood what B means, and it's not continue. All right, let's just not worry about that right now. There's always more refinement we can do. That should be... This is going to end up being a Z. No. Yeah. Well, let's take this one. Oh, rats. I erased the wrong one. Let's take this one. I'm going to make this one... This one's going to be beam, and I'm going to make it the Z. So this will be Z. Like that. And this one is going to be interact. Like that. And yeah, let's move these a little closer together. And let's erase that. All right, so now let's say we've got normal controls, modern controls, right? Mouse, keyboard, or gamepad, interact, shoot, beam, thrust, aim. Or we've got classic controls where the thrust moves over to here. Interact is the same, shoot, beam, and these become rotate. And then this becomes no mouse, right? So you're using spacebar to shoot, Z to beam, X to interact. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go with that. So let me export this. That'll be controls, export, yes, and classic, export, yes. And if I go back here, we can take a look. I need to add interact to this screen as well on the keyboard control. Yeah. So here, let's copy this. And then I'm going to put it right here in this layer. something like this. Let's see. Let's copy this. Oops. Copy you. I want this to line up. Right? And then you are going to go out here. And I can delete you. I kind of want, now that I see these two so close together, I think I kind of want them both to use the same label. So to do that, I would need to move this one. I'm being very persnickety here with the placement and position of these things. So it would be something like that. This one would come down to here. That one's here. And then this one would come to here. And this one is going to go to here. And this gets deleted. And this gets extended. And this gets deleted. Oops, it's the wrong layer. I'm in the wrong layer. That. Yep. And then my classic controls, I'll need to add another mask out right here. For that. Modern controls. Classic controls. Modern controls. Classic controls. I'm not even sure I like this verb, interact. It seems too technical. And of course, the spacing is just a wee bit off. Let's just try it for now. So this is modern controls. Oh, let's export the classic ones first because I've already got the file name queued up. I just hate that crossover. Mask that. And let's take this. No, screw it. Let's just go with this for now. Export, and then turn that off and export it again as controls. Yes, export. looks pretty nice. I actually like that. Don't like that. I kind of want to move this over here. Thrust. But it's more complicated because of the way I've done the art. It might be easier on me to just quit being so clever about trying to don't repeat myself and just copy the entire layer and just make Classic a whole new layer with everything copied, and I can just redraw all the labels on it. That would be simpler to comprehend and to deal with the interactions in the Sprite file, even though it's a little bit more actual work. It's just a little less mental work. Yeah, maybe. This is just bugging Present John a little too much. But I like this. This is fine. And I like this. This is fine. And I dig this. I think that's cool. I think this line, this diagonal, gets a little lost in there. So I might want to finesse it a little and remove this cross-hatching 1 pixel around that diagonal just to make it clearer. But it's good enough for now. And the idea then, again, you know, before I was using shoot, I was using one control to do 2 different things. And now I've separated it out into 2 different things, which is a user experience, a UX improvement for our players. Yeah, I'm going to commit that. Let's commit it. Time to commit some code. Bring up the old... Why is all this stuff staged already? Oh, that's not staged. Whew. What is this? Oh. This is another project I was working on. Let's just close that. All right, so in here I've got my new input map. I've got my new explicit interact control for advancing the dialogue. I've got an interact dialogue for the continue button. So wherever the continue button appears, this is actually problematic, I think, because the continue button appears in other places in the system besides dialogue. Got my new art. And I've got some noise in the level thing. See this? Look at this. Every time I edit a level, the position of this changed, right? 1281.05, it changed to 1286.01. I didn't actually do anything. I just opened it in the level editor and then closed it. And it resaved it, and there's a little bit of jitter in the floating point stuff. I have on my to-do to convert all these to integers, but it's harder than it sounds because there are a lot of vertices and positions of things, especially once you get down into like this stuff here. I'll bet you this is a wall. Yes, this is a wall section, right? And if I turn on word wrap here, cannot toggle word wrap in the diff editor. Anyway, this just goes on and on. So it's a little bit intense to deal with this. But I need some kind of snapping. I need to implement some kind of snapping and to the nearest pixel. And that would solve the problem going forward. But it also needs to round when it loads the level for the first time. And that's where it gets intense. I might need to put in the code to round everything when it loads the levels for the first time, and then just open and save every level, and then take that code out because I won't need it anymore after that. Once I've got the snapping in place, it should never happen again. And then hopefully that'll solve the problem with this floating point jitter, and I won't get so much noise where it wants to commit these new files even though they haven't really changed. Anyway, that's for another day. Added interact button. But there's an open issue with the continue button. Seen. Yeah, there is a to-do card for that, assigned to Future John. Because continue button is used in other places besides dialogue. So I'm going to commit it, but I'm not going to move the card off my to-do list yet. Because I think I still have some more work to do. And the question here is, do I want to make people push X everywhere they see a continue button? Do I want them to push A in the dialogue? Or A in a lot of places, but X only in dialogue, and A everywhere else? Or do I want to just have X be the button to advance and continue everywhere? That's the question here. Anyway, I think I'm going to stream again Saturday. I have to call it a little bit short today because I have a prior commitment. Smexy UI, huh? So next time on Saturday, I'll probably I'll work on this a little bit if I haven't solved it by then. Maybe we can take a poll and see what everybody thinks about how it should go. I was also thinking we could talk a little bit about the architecture of the game that came up in the Discord recently. And I've done a little bit of talking about it in other videos, but there seems to be, interest in it still. And in the other video, I didn't really go into it very deeply. So if you guys have architecture questions, which is stuff like, how do you get two different things to talk to each other? Or what do you use your singletons for? Or that sort of stuff. We can talk about that on Saturday. It'll be Saturday, noon Pacific. And in the meantime, go to gravityace.com, tell your friends. Please share the game with everybody you know. Wishlisted on Steam if you haven't already, and follow me on Twitter and see my shenanigans there. I do a lot of retweeting of other games, so if you've got a game that you're working on, let me know about it. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. See you guys Saturday. Take it easy, everybody.